I'm Francis. Right now, I'm standing at the bar of my sister's wedding reception, the room dead silent as all eyes are on me. The bar manager looks at the matte black titanium card in my hand, his eyes widening slightly with recognition. I've just offered to cover the $12,300 bar tab that my sister's fiancé, a so-called doctor, couldn't pay. The tension in the room is thick enough to cut with a knife. Let me take you back to how I got here. I'm from a well-to-do family in Boston. My parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, are both successful in their own right. My father is a high-profile lawyer, and my mother is a respected art curator. They've always had high standards and a clear vision of what they expect from their daughters. My sister, Lily, is 25 years old. She's the golden child, the one who always does everything right in my parents' eyes. She's engaged to Dr. Ethan, a young and seemingly successful doctor. I, on the other hand, have been the black sheep of the family, pursuing a career in tech in San Francisco. I hadn't been home in 5 years. The last straw was a phone call when I told my parents I was moving in with my fiancé, Leo, an architect. My mother's response was, "You're always so impulsive, Francis." Lily just got a promotion at her job. After that, I stopped calling and they didn't seem to notice for months. Last month, I got a text from my mother. It wasn't "I miss you," but Lily's engagement party is on Saturday. Try to be on time. Leo and I boarded a business class flight from San Francisco to Boston. As we flew over the mountains, I looked out the window, dreading the upcoming reunion. Leo reached over and squeezed my hand, knowing exactly what I was feeling. When we arrived at my parents' mansion, it was just as I remembered. The large, imposing house, the perfectly manicured lawn, and the expensive cars in the driveway. My mother was in the kitchen with Lily, looking at wedding cake samples. When she saw me, she simply said, "Oh, you're here." Lily waved a fork and said, "Francis, come try this raspberry one. Ethan loves raspberries." Ethan was on a video call, showing off his scrubs and talking about saving lives. My father came in and shook Leo's hand perfunctorily, then asked, "Architecture? Does that pay well these days?" His tone was full of doubt. The engagement party was a grand affair. My mother had planned it for months, with fairy lights, catered food, and a fancy bar. She stood at the center of the patio and gave a long speech about how proud she was of Lily for finding a doctor. Leo and I stood off to the side, mostly ignored. One of my mother's friends asked Leo if he was the waiter. A few days later, I was in the hallway when I heard my parents sit Lily down and hand her a $30,000 check for her wedding. I walked in and told them about my own engagement. My mother looked at me and said, "Lily is marrying a doctor, Francis. Her wedding needs to be top-notch. You and Leo can have a simple ceremony." I got nothing, not even a word of congratulations. That was the moment I realized my parents would never truly see me. The rehearsal dinner was at an upscale Italian restaurant. Ethan acted like he owned the place, ordering expensive bottles of wine and talking about his future in cardiology. During the meal, I noticed him checking his phone under the table, his jaw tightening. When the bill came, he had trouble paying, and Lily ended up covering the tip. 2 days before the wedding, Lily emailed the seating chart. Leo and I were assigned to table 18, the last table, tucked away near the kitchen. I called Lily, asking why. She said they had to make room for Ethan's colleagues. I also found out that I wasn't in the wedding party. When I asked Lily about it, she said she thought I wouldn't want the attention. My mother backed her up, saying the bridal party was already set. On the morning of the wedding, I got ready in a simple, elegant navy dress. Leo looked at me in the mirror and said, "You look amazing, like you're about to take on the world." I smiled, but inside I was still hurt. The wedding ceremony was beautiful. Lily looked stunning in her Vera Wang gown, and Ethan stood at the altar, looking confident. But as I watched, I couldn't help but notice the nervousness in Ethan's eyes. The reception was in full swing when the trouble started. Ethan was at the bar, showing off, and saying it was his treat. But when the bar manager approached him, I could tell something was wrong. Ethan started fumbling with his credit cards, and one by one, they were declined. My mother, in her elegant champagne-colored dress, panicked. My father looked furious. Lily was in tears, and Ethan was trying to come up with excuses. The bar manager finally announced that the cards were declined, and the current balance was $12,300. As I sat at table 18, I looked around the room. I saw my mother's desperate expression, Lily's heart, broken face, and Ethan's embarrassed look. I thought about all the years of being overlooked, of feeling like I didn't matter. But then I also thought about Lily. This was her wedding day, and I didn't want it to be ruined. I reached into my clutch and pulled out my MX Centurion card. It was a symbol of my hard work and success in the tech world, a card my parents didn't even know I had. I stood up, walked to the bar, and said, "Put everything on mine." The full tab. The room was in shock. My mother's mouth dropped open, and my father stared at me in disbelief. The bar manager swiped the card, and after what felt like an eternity, the machine beeped, and the bar was open again. After that, my mother came to me, trying to reclaim control. She asked to talk to me outside, but I told her to say what she had to say in front of everyone. She asked where I got the card and accused me of trying to embarrass them. I calmly told her that I was just saving the reception. Ethan finally admitted that he had a debt of $320,000 from medical school, along with an additional $45,000 in credit card debt. Lily was heartbroken, and my parents were in shock. In the days that followed, things started to change. My father called me to ask about my work, something he'd never done before. My mother sent me a long email, apologizing for her past behavior. She said she thought Ethan was a safe choice for Lily, but she realized she'd made a mistake. 6 months later, Leo and I got married in a vineyard in Napa Valley. We paid for everything ourselves. Lily was my maid of honor, and she gave a beautiful toast, saying that she'd finally seen who I really was. My parents attended the wedding. My father walked me down the aisle, crying. My mother sat in the front row, watching silently. For the first time in a long time, I felt like they were truly seeing me. Now, as I sit at my desk in San Francisco, looking at the cards from Lily and my father on my desk, I realized that the black card wasn't just about paying a bar tab. It was about finally making my family see the real me, and about showing them that I was more than they ever thought I was.